Hey there, Alex here. This is the Moto G6 Plus, a new budget mid-range offering from Lenovo. At the selling price of around 300 to 400 Singapore dollars, it's entering one of the most competitive segment of the market today. So let's take a closer look at the phone and see if it's any good. We kick things off with the design of the phone, which is reminiscent of the Moto X4. It has a glass back, the signature Moto camera bump, and a fingerprint sensor at the front. But it is important to note that the frame is actually plastic, not metal. Not a huge deal since this is a cheaper phone after all. The phone still feels pretty nice in hand thanks to the curved glass at the sides. Talking about the fingerprint sensor, it may look a little small, but rest assured, it works just fine. It's fast and accurate, and I really like that I can do a long press to lock the phone too. Once the phone has been unlocked, you're greeted by a taller 18:9 screen that actually looks surprisingly good for the price of the phone. The colors looks nice, and the outdoor visibility is really good thanks to the bright display. The only minor complaint I have here are the side bezels, which seems a little thicker. Anyway, because of the good looking screen and the surprisingly good front firing speaker, it's easy to ignore the bezels. Multimedia experience on the phone is still pretty good. Even for gaming, the older Snapdragon 630 chipset still performs well. It may take a bit longer to load some games, but they're definitely playable. For day-to-day use, apps launches quickly and the UI feels smooth. Overall, it provides a pretty good experience, and part of that is probably thanks to the software too. The UI is relatively clean and close to stock Android for the most part. It has a few visual tweaks, a couple of Microsoft apps, and a handful of additional features. Things like double twist to launch the camera, double chop for the flashlight, 3-finger screenshot, and using the fingerprint sensor for navigation to get a bit more screen real estate. Nothing we haven't already seen on other recent Moto devices. So essentially, it's a boring but good software experience. Thanks to the efficient processor and rather clean software, battery life has been pretty decent with the 3200 mAh battery. I did notice a bit more standby drain, perhaps due to the Moto Display and Moto Voice feature, but a day of use is still easily achievable. By the way, if you really need a voice assistant, I would recommend using Google Assistant over Moto Voice, because it's just more reliable. Let's talk about the camera quality next. The hardware on the Moto G6 Plus is actually pretty decent. Dual pixel autofocus and a rather wide aperture. It's able to produce decent looking images in most lighting conditions, something I was pleasantly surprised to see. The image processing is a tad heavier for my taste, but it's a non-issue if you don't pixel peep. It has a secondary camera as well used for depth sensing that allows for modes like portrait shot, spot color, or just removing the background. They don't always work perfectly, but they're pretty fun to play with once in a while. Video capture looks good enough for the most part too, and it offers electronic stabilization at 1080p. The front camera can look a little washed out, but it's decent enough too most of the time. So overall, I would say that it's a pretty decent camera experience for the price you're paying. You can find everything I took with the phone in a link below. To sum it all up, I think the Moto G6 Plus is a pretty good phone that provides quite a well-rounded experience in terms of both the hardware and software experience. It's basically a jack of all trades. Also, I really appreciate that it comes with NFC, a USB Type-C port, 5GHz Wi-Fi support, and even a bit of splash resistance. These are features that not all phones in this price range might have. I do still think that the price could be a bit better since it's using an older chipset, but all things considered, I think the Moto G6 Plus is a pretty good option and definitely worthy of the Moto G name. Thanks for watching my review of the Moto G6 Plus. If you've enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more reviews in the future. Thanks again, and see you guys on the next one.